This is a tutorial about how to get started with Sage. First, you will go to this website, sagemath.org. This is the website of the software. Sage Math is a free open source mathematics software. As such, you could install it if you like. It's free. You can download it. But for the purpose of this class, it's not necessary to download anything and can be used online. So here is the possibility of using the online interface. So you don't need to download anything. You just click it in here, or you can click in here, and that will take you to the online interface where you can use Sage directly online. Click on Sage on CoCalc. Now sign up and choose a personal account. Write your email address and a password. Write your name and sign up. Dismiss any asking for money. Once that you are signed in as yourself in the CoCalc space, be sure that you always reject anything about buying anything. So this is completely free what we are going to use, so you should not purchase anything here. So you go to your projects. You may have here a project if you created already some or not. So let's create the first project. Create a project. So I'm calling my project. Create project. Find dismiss. Okay, and so once that we are in the first project space, here is where we can start creating inside here our labs. So for instance, in here, with the new one here, we will go here to create a Jupyter notebook or a Sage notebook. So if you create a Sage one, so that will be, let me name it my Sage worksheet, and I created. I remind you in the meanwhile, you dismiss this, and here it is. So here is where you can start now writing any of the labs. So for instance, let me do a quick operation here, 3 square, and I run it. We observe here, we are waiting. Here is the result. Let's do another operation. Let's say 6 plus 1. Let's run it. And here we have the result. Okay, so that was the Sage worksheet, and you can write the labs in a worksheet like this. So suppose that this is all our lab assignments. Once that we are done with the lab assignment, we want to make a PDF. To do that, we are going to click here in the symbol, this icon for converting to a PDF. Click here, and so this will generate a PDF. Here, if you like, you may modify this. For instance, if this is the lab number 1, you will modify your name, whatever you like to modify here, and you will generate the PDF. So I will click here, generate the PDF, and Sage is preparing a version of this lab. So here is the lab assignment, so you could download it if you like here. Now if we come back to projects, we still have the first My Project that we create, and inside this project we have this My Sage worksheet. So we can close this one So now open again, and we could see that inside projects, we have my project, and inside this project, we have this first Sage worksheet that we just created. We can also alternatively create a Jupyter notebook here. So let's go again to New Arrow, and in this menu here, you will go to the first one, that is the Jupyter notebook. So we create this one here, and let's call it my Jupyter notebook. While it's loading, remind you that dismiss this. Okay, when we need to select a kernel, you should be always the Sage Math. So it may be already if you use it, otherwise you select it here. It's always the Sage Math kernel. You select there, and there it is. This is your first Jupyter notebook. And in here you can create, as before, let's do 3 square. Let's run it. Here we see the progress. And here it is. We have here the result. To create another cell, so we can write here the 6 plus 1 we did before. Let's run it. Here is the result. If the lab is done here, we would like to have a PDF. We are going to go to File, and so we go down to Save and Export as PDF, and here we are going to select PDF via LaTeX. So we click in that one, and there will produce our PDF that later on you can upload in the forum. This is as the PDF looks like. You can download it in your computer and just drag it in the forum. Okay, so this is the second way that you can use Sage. You can use it in a Sage worksheet, or you can use it in a Jupyter notebook. So let's come back, let's close this one, let's come back to projects. Again, in project, we have still the only project that we are going to need, because everything we can put inside here. So in this project, now we have two things, right? The first one that we create, which was the Sage worksheet, and the Jupyter one. So these are the two alternatives to do the same thing. And if we come back to projects once again, we close these projects, and we want to create a new one. We have been using this menu here. Here is the Jupyter, and here is the Sage worksheet. These are the two that we are going to use, either this one or this one. Also, if you click directly the new thing here, it may appear here in your popular documents which ones you have used more. So in this case, the one that says Sage Math Notebook is the one that will give you the Jupyter notebook. But you can always access to the whole menu, as I explained before, by just appearing here. So you are sure that you do Jupyter notebook or you do Sage one. But when you do Jupyter notebook, remember that you have the extra step of choosing the kernel that should be Sage kernel.